Earth signs, your overall energy for this week is to be a bit of an explorer. Open your eyes to the broader horizons and try not to have any preconceived ideas about where you want to go or what you want to do. This is my backpacker card. It's like winging it, just being open and enthusiastic about what's coming up without having a game plan, without kind of knowing where this will take you, but having faith that and being excited about the fact you don't know where you're going and you're really eager to learn new things, to look at new sights and sample new experiences. In terms of your career or your abundance, you may feel very negative about your future and your future prospects. And certainly you feel upside down or sort of unable to provide yourself with the necessities you believe are required for your stability and your happy daily life. But there is something coming in that is going to cheer you up, some emotional fresh start relating to your work or your career or your current project that is imminent. So it's a matter of not giving in to your fears. You cannot see the full picture right now. So this is about keeping the faith, a bit like our backpacker. It's like, fuck, I don't know what's going to happen next, but being okay with that and being prepared to go on this kind of roller coaster journey out of a sense of adventure. So try and stay in that energy. I'm going to pull more cards on this, so stay tuned. In terms of your self-love or your relationships, you may be feeling a lack of balance, or you may be feeling like you don't even have someone else to balance life out with. There's this message here to sort of become more open. This is not being so closed off to prospects. This is really guidance here, or this could be your week to free things up for yourself a little bit. You are being reminded that you are a badass being, full of life, love, and possibilities. This is my wild card in this deck. So, you are really being urged to keep the faith here. There may be some part of you that is really reluctant to take a risk because you fear ridicule, you fear that you've got something wrong, or you are going to be made a fool of in some way. So this seems to be about lightening up and not trying to juggle everything on your own. It is trying to let someone else in maybe, and be open to the roller coaster that this is. I'm going to pull more cards on this as well. All right, let's take a closer look at your career here. What is coming up? What can't you see? Look, there really is a fresh start here for you. This card is saying you have all the tools at your disposal to create a fantastic career or to get into a new area. There is some caution here about not putting in the work, not knuckling down. It feels like you do know what you need to know. It's just maybe some procrastination here or some fear of putting an effort in case it comes to nothing. There is a very pessimistic view that you might be taking. This is the sort of the sun being behind a cloud, and the sun does come out from behind the cloud. The sun will rise again, even in the darkest of nights. So this to me is saying, turn your attitude around, be more positive and joyful, have some lightness in your expectations rather than just feeling like you don't have what it takes. And stop procrastinating, start putting the work in, and you will see easy results for your efforts is what it feels like. Yeah, lighten up. Really go back to basics. Try not to be so grim or down on yourself about what you don't know. Childhood's all about light-hearted exploration, and that really does echo this Page of Wands card that was your whole week ahead kind of vibe. You can fix this, whatever this is. You actually have the skills to build what you want to build. The Magician card said that. And there are beautiful things ahead for you when you do this. So it's a matter of having faith in yourself, reclaiming the joy in what you're doing, being okay with the fact that you don't really know everything. You don't have all the answers, but you do have all the tools. You can go on this exploration and find out. Well, I love it when this happens. So your overall energy is the Page of Wands for this week, and your energy to lean away from is the Page of Wands in reverse. So lean away from self-limiting beliefs, immaturity, impatience, being unreliable, lacking ideas, or laziness. To me, this is about the paralysis that you get from thinking that you don't have what it takes, and that is what stops you. And the energy to lean towards is the World in reverse. So be prepared to close out a cycle. This is about being realistic. If the music comes to a stop, you've got to sit down quickly, change your strategy. What's that kids game? Musical chairs. So if the music stops, you can't just keep walking around in a circle, you are out. This is where you've got to go, shit, the music stopped. I've got to find somewhere to sit. So don't be afraid of that energy of kind of like, okay, I've got to move on here. Yeah, so lean towards change, lean towards seeing the bigger picture, and lean towards ushering in a new cycle in your career. Adjust your thinking, because this card says perception is reality. You don't want to bury your head in the sand, and also you want to expect the best and then work towards the best. Otherwise, you'll just be stuck in negativity with a negative thinking spiral, and you'll stay stuck. If the music's changed in musical chairs, you really want to sit down. And that is kind of the metaphor for, okay, I can't keep dancing to this tune anymore. I've got to stop and take stock, take a seat, and decide on my next move. So let's get back now and take a closer look at your emotional life, your love life, your self-love even. Well, there might be the sense here that you are feeling unstable, that what you're building will not have a long-term outcome that you'll be happy with. Or there might be an earth sign person in your midst who is not acting in the most positive way. That is one sort of another interpretation of this card. But the Queen of Pentacles is, in the upright. She's sitting in her happy home, building a very abundant future that she is content with. So you're not feeling content, you're not feeling stable or secure in this current relationship. You may be contemplating going out on your own, splitting up. But this is the card here of you knowing what to do. You're not fooled anymore by all the rubbish that is hiding inside of what looks to be a gold cup. So in the upright, this is the card of many choices and being a bit bamboozled, not realizing that they're actually very different. Even though they look good on the outside, it's what's on the inside that counts. And I think this is a lesson that you have learnt, because no longer are you bamboozled by the shiny gold cups. You have been really looking within to decide what is valuable to you, and now you know what your one choice would be. It feels like either someone has been gaslighting you, or you may have been gaslighting yourself. With this book burning here, it's all about changing narratives, lies, deception even. So that could have some element of why you fear ridicule, or you might feel ridicule. There could be a water sign person involved here. So that's Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And this might be you calling time either on this whole relationship or on the negativity that you are feeling within, where you have been deluding yourself, or you have been contributing to some unease in the relationship. There does seem to be like a halt being called here. The overall sense is that you're not in a position that you feel comfortable trusting that there will be long-term satisfaction and stability here. So what is the advice? So the energy to lean away from is the Eight of Wands in reverse. And Eight of Wands in the upright, it's all about expansion and growth. And so this is saying lean away from delays, frustration, also resisting change. So it is time to lean into the fast moving change that wants to come in, rather than try and put the brakes on and cling to something that you know isn't really in your best interests here. And the energy to lean towards is Judgment. Now this is in the reverse. That's really interesting. I'll read you some of the topics here. Lean into unfinished lessons. Lean into where you are feeling self-doubt or self-loathing and confront that head on. So this is where you might be, this book burning card, where you might have to take ownership of the places where you have deluded yourself or been in denial. You need to lean into those areas and go, okay, I don't want that anymore. I want to get past that now. I want to get past my failure to learn from past lessons and this sort of self-doubt. This is time to have faith in your judgment. I'm going to turn this up the right way now. This is kind of a wake-up call card. So you really want to lean into this wake-up call and going, okay, I've got a repeating pattern in my life. This is the latest iteration of it. And guess what? I've had enough. I'm not going to put up with this anymore. So this is your time to move into uncharted territory. Okay, you might be a bit nervous about it, but there is the adventure on the other side of this. It is walking into uncharted territory emotionally for yourself, but that is a big wake-up call for you. So let's get a bit of a pep talk about this for you. Okay, yes, so it does look like there are difficulties emotionally for you to deal with. This says hostilities, conflict, and unrest. Now, it could be quite minimal, but it doesn't have to be, quite so extreme, but it does feel like either this is within you, this unrest, or there is something to deal with your significant other here. And you will have a lot of guidance on this. You will know what to do. You have really good instincts in this, and don't be afraid to go on this journey because you will be guided at every step. Inspiration, interpretation, trust on the clairvoyance card there. And that doesn't mean you suddenly become psychic or get woo-woo messages from the other side. This is simply like you will know what to do. You will feel the truth within you, and the truth will not be denied. It's as simple as that. Yes, adjustments are required. So that could be within you, or it could be with your relationship. And you're being guided here to focus on the big picture. This may feel devastating now or unhappy, unsettling, but in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, you might be in a completely different circumstance and look back on this with gratitude for setting you on a different path, on a path you didn't know where it would lead you. But this page energy is Sagittarian energy. It's expansive, it is optimistic. So that is the energy that you really want to grab onto this week and expect the best, because long term, there are really good things coming in for you here. So don't focus on the negative and the tiny details and the short term. You really want to focus on your own personal growth and your own circumstances to build the life you want to build the relationship you want to build, the one that you instinctively know you deserve. That seems to be the energy around you for this week. So our third topic for the week, for all signs, is gifts that are coming in to you, specifically in your 5th house of creativity and romance. And look, we've got Venus showing up there, which is attracting good things to you, good opportunities, romance, love. It is also children, gambling, the keyword there being affair. So there could be a real rejuvenation in your emotional life, or more especially your attraction scenarios, what you are attracting to you. And it can be creative. So let's not just put a romantic spin or a relationship spin on all of this, although that does seem to be the case there. So in the past, it looks like there was a change in a situation. It might have even been one that you didn't want to make, that you were reluctant to go through with, but you did go through with it. Or somebody left and you had no choice in the matter. You might have been resistant to the change. And it did put you into a dark night of the soul with the 5 of Pentacles. There may have been quite a lot to process there of feeling rejected or abandoned, or just worried that you were never going to have the kind of security that you were yearning for in whatever way. Or you may have felt, if this is creatively, you might have felt a bit like your tank was empty, creatively speaking. Now, either this situation is coming back around, someone who walked away or something that left, like your creative inspiration, is coming back. There is this vibe here of lightness, of enthusiasm, childish kind of excitement. And this to me is just kind of like enjoying all the colors of life and everything that life has to offer in a very light-hearted way. But also look how much you've learnt. You've become a freaking expert at something, and you may be a bit hard-ass, and that's not to say that's a bad thing, but you've really come into your own is what it feels like here, and that's why the rewards are coming to you. And either you can now strategize on your way forward in this, you've got kind of a game plan, you've got more of a sense of being in control of your own destiny, or somebody could be planning a way back to you, and that is the romantic aspect of somebody who walked away having a change of heart and wanting to figure out how to reignite the connection between you maybe. Now, you've got the card here of inner truth, and that means you will really understand through your own intuition what the truth of the situation is here. Somebody might come in feeling a bit calculating, but you'll see straight through it. And yet, you might also see through the calculations that seem kind of a little bit, I don't know, they might just seem a bit mechanical, but you will also see beneath it to the genuine motivation that lies underneath. So there are many layers to this situation, it feels. Someone might use a device to get in front of you again, but it feels as though with Venus in your 5th house, if this relates to another person, their motives feel genuine. What else can the universe tell us about this? Another 5th house card, this time the Sun and Fortune. So the Sun is shining a big light here on your creativity and romantic affairs and children. So look, expect a lot of sunlight, joy, lightness. It really does go with this balloon card. And let's just get energies for you to lean towards and lean away from here, just to get a bit of clarity in case clarity is needed. But as I say, your intuition will be really strong on this one. Energy to lean away from is the Queen of Wands. Now this is the very magnetic, sexy Queen. Can be a bit supercilious, a bit arrogant. If it's in the negative, it can be also a bit standalone and sort of unattainable. The fiery passion that sort of flits around like a dragonfly and is very hard to pin down. I've never got that energy from this card before, but that is kind of what it's saying to me. Using sparkle, wit, vivaciousness to keep someone at arm's length, and maybe a bit of arrogance as well, a bit of light arrogance. That is energy to lean away from. What are the negative things here? Also, the negative traits of the Queen of Wands: drama, lack of self-worth, selfish, temperamental. Lean away from anything like that. It feels defensiveness to me, like using your glamour or your charisma, male or female, to kind of keep people at bay. Instead, lean towards this lightness. We've got the Sun card, which is the most joyful, light-hearted, radiant card in the whole tarot deck. This sort of sun vibes has been coming out a lot, the light-heartedness. So, you know, lean towards pure positivity, ultimate happiness, joy, optimism, confidence, sunshine, and truth. So I hope that helps you, my darlings. If you'd like your own personal reading on these topics or any other, go to my website, abundancelovejoy.com. Meanwhile, this is Sarah wishing you much abundance, love, and joy.